back to my channel. I am Syanne. If you are new here, I am currently driving, so my full attention is not given to you, but today I am doing a lifestyle update video. Today marks 2 years of a big day for me, and a day that I never thought I would get over, and I actually am really pretty happy today. I'm very excited about a couple of different things that are kind of coming up, and something new that I'm starting here on my channel today, and that is a health and fitness vlog. It is time I changed my health and fitness. Today I want to mark it as day 1, so I want to turn around this date and not make it something that it's kind of like moving over my head anymore, which it's not. I'm really good with dates, so this day will always be marked for that thing, and I don't want that anymore. And kicking it off, I made my very first protein smoothie. So a little bit of backstory: I currently weigh around 220. I am 5 foot, and I have been marked as an obese person for quite a few years. And it's always been like the big thing in the back of my head. I don't love my body. Now, if it was muscle, it would be so different, and I would be so much prouder of myself, but it's not. I do have a lot of fat, and it's something that I do want to work on, but I always made it a priority to lose weight and not gain strength. I no longer have a gym membership. I don't want to pay for it because I have more than enough equipment, and just the fact that like I could do things at home, I don't want to pay the money for. And I've done that mentality where, oh, if I'm paying the money for it, I'm more inclined to go do it. No, I'm more inclined to waste my money. What I want to do and what I want to focus on is just giving my body more nutrition and more movement, mobility. So I'm a relatively healthy eater, but I definitely want to cut back on some stuff because I have a cholesterol issue. I got a bunch of blood testing, and it was something that my doctor came back with and was like, you need to watch your cholesterol. I don't want to put you on anything yet because you're so young, but if I don't see a difference, then we will probably be more inclined to, and that's just something I don't want to do. I don't want to be dependent upon something at such a young age as medicine or something, when I knew it's so simple enough to start with my diet. I talked to my therapist, and it's kind of my new assignment is to research nutrition and exercise, find nutrition that I love and want to fuel my body with, and then find exercises that I love and I want to commit to. And there's definitely ones, like I love leg day. It is my favorite thing ever. I do like working out on the elliptical. I just don't do it that often, and I have an elliptical in my bedroom. If I could do 5 minutes on the elliptical a couple of times a week, then I would feel like A, I'm getting use out of the elliptical that's in my bedroom, B, I'm moving my body. I want to track this, so I want to use this as A, content, but B, I want to be held accountable, and I'm being held accountable by my therapist and myself, but I want to be held accountable to a more populated mass of people, because one thing that I am a creature of habit with, which I know many people are, is, oh, I'll start Monday, oh, I'll start Monday, or I'll start next week, next month, I'll start on the 1st of the month, I'll start the new year. And instead, I'm starting on September 12th, 2023, on a Tuesday, and it's not typical for me to do that. I'm slowly going abilities and my mental health and everything. And that's another reason I want to do it, because I want to get into I just want to get into a better body and like love every aspect of myself as much as I possibly can, and be proud of myself. Hi guys, it has been a minute since I continued this video. Kind of been on the back burner. I've had a lot of other things going on, and I've been filming a couple of other videos, and so it's been a hot second, but you did see my intro to this video. Essentially, I am wanting to do better in my health, wellness, nutrition, exercise journey, if you will. And one of those things that I think is really important is to hold myself accountable. And I'm doing that through not only therapy, but I'm also doing it through this YouTube, you guys. I finally sat down yesterday and really mapped out my, not so much goals, but I guess more like a strategy, a baseline to start with. So something that, a little backstory, because I don't remember if I talked about it. I spoke with my therapist about not being happy with my looks and being confident in myself, and not being happy with my appearance and being weighed down. And a lot of the time that's where I falter when it comes to thinking that I could meet somebody and date and somebody being interested in me. Essentially what I'm doing is my baseline is working out 2 days a week, starting at 2 days for like 10 to 15 minutes, and doing things that I absolutely enjoy and love when it comes to exercise. And then for nutrition, it's going to be as many days in a week that I can. So I'm going to primarily stick to the 4 to 5 rule. Those days be very like concrete. What I decided on the physical exercise front of things is my 2 days. I'm going to do Mondays and Wednesdays. Now these are subject to change because life happens, things happen. The one major change I'm making is I am going to be working out in the morning. So Mondays and Wednesdays are going to be my days to get up half an hour earlier and to allow myself 10 to 15 minutes to work out. The first 5 minutes is going to be working on the elliptical, and then 10 minutes doing some kind of other exercise, or less than that if I want to do a couple of little workouts. I did download an app. I'll put the app name on the screen here. It's a free app. I've used it quite a few times. A few years ago, I used to use it all the time. I really sat and thought about realistically what I could do in my work week, mainly, that would keep me on top of things. So this is kind of a 2-for-1er, because it's going to affect my financial situation as well. No more ordering out for lunch during the week. Unless I have a lunch date for some reason planned, there's a party at lunch or party at work, or they're getting us free food, then I will kind of loosen on that rule. Because I'm working out 2 days a week, I want to have some kind of like healthy breakfast those 2 days as well. So usually I want to do some kind of smoothie or some kind of like good protein egg, something or other. I want to stay away from breads in the morning, and I want to stay away from like high carbs in the morning, and filler foods like cereal that's just not good for you. With my lunches during the week, I want to have, I think I said 2 or 3 days where I'm doing salads along with the rest of my lunch. I want to be more mindful of the snacks that I have. So my snacks, I want to start getting away from all of the, again, carbs and bad things, but I want to stick with my nuts, my fruits, my carrot sticks and peppers with dressing. That is so much better for you, and I just would feel a lot better eating stuff like that. Drinking way more water, less soda. When I go out to eat, I'm not going to restrict myself. I'm just going to mentally remind myself, like, okay, this can be your cheat day. This can be your kind of like, get the carb, get the dessert, get the soda, whatever. I don't want to be so restricted that I can't enjoy the things that I like. My point being is we are starting this. This is day one. I'm already very proud of myself, so I want to keep with this momentum. I got lots of goodies in my grocery run, some zero sugar black pepper beef jerky, some baby carrots, some dark chocolate covered pomegranates, blueberries, some tuna, unsweetened almond milk, and then some frozen fruit for smoothies, which I'm about to show you what I made for my smoothie the next day, which I used the cherry berry blend mix, some unsweetened almond milk, banana, and Quest protein powder. Yes, I did completely make a mess because I was trying to film this with one hand and pour the milk with the other, but this is my typical breakfast smoothie. I shake it up with the fruit, but this is it. It's really delicious. Morning, guys. I wanted to pop in here really quick, and while I get ready this morning, kind of explain this video series, the point that I'm trying to make and get across, and kind of what I finally realized a couple of weeks ago that I wanted to do. When I first started out with this idea of accountability through the videos and doing a health, fitness, nutrition series, I was thinking working out and changing my food diet. At the same time, I was slowly reading this book called In the Flow. I had gotten this for my birthday this year, and I've been wanting to read this for quite a while. This is not a book review, but I would highly recommend it if you are wanting to know more about your cycle and your way to live amongst it. And if you have, I think any woman should read it, but I really think that if you struggle with knowledge on your cycle, what to do, what you should be eating, how to coexist with it, because I will say I am not your typical physical body problems, symptoms, cramps, headaches, backaches, all of those things. I am very much more a hormonal, emotional, symptomatic person when it comes to my cycle. And not only is that normal because your hormones are changing throughout the month, but it really does affect my day-to-day, and this book goes over that. What I was doing is not what I want to do for this video series anymore. I really wanted to use this book along with things that I think I need to do and would benefit me in my life. These videos are going to be broken out into 3 as of right now. The first, we're going to walk through the follicular and ovulatory phases and what exactly those look like for me, what that time of the month is, and all of that. At the same time, we're starting a new nutrition plan and diet. I'm incorporating foods specifically good for those phases. Got that information from this book, so there is a section that I've kind of mapped out in here. It's on page 105 of all of the foods that are really good for each phase. So that's where I'm getting my information from. Now, I'm not specifically only eating these things. I'm still eating other things. You know, in, let's just say, the follicular phase, it talks about eating wheat, rye, oat, and barley, artichoke, broccoli, carrot, all of that. I hate broccoli, so I'm not eating broccoli. But I did buy carrots and I started snacking on those. I paid attention to the different fruits and vegetables I was eating mainly, especially when it comes to snacking. It does talk about smoothies are great throughout the entire month. Protein smoothies, all of that, protein powders. So I definitely went into the beginning of the month more so focusing on my protein smoothies, which is great. But I didn't do a ton of workouts or exercises, and that's intentional. At first it was accidental. I just wasn't into it. There was too much to focus on when I was reading this book and doing the research and understanding what food I needed to focus on. And then I realized, because of a chapter in here where it said to kind of break out your weeks, week 1 focus here, week 2 focus there. Week 1 specifically stated to focus in on food or workouts. And I said, well, I'm going to focus on food, fueling my body first. And I'm going to take it to the next extreme. So the entire month, I'm just going to focus on food, where I want to work out and how I want to work out and exercise. I will incorporate those when I get there. Right now, I primarily want to just focus on the food. We will get to workouts at a later time. Video 2 is following me through my luteal and menstrual phases, which I'm technically currently in those when I'm filming this portion of this video. So it's kind of a look into the future, if you will. I am simultaneously filming that video, like I said, and I am doing the foods that are in that. It's a little harder in that phase, which you'll see in a few weeks, but it is definitely beneficial for that as well. So you're going to see the same thing that I did in this first video. What exercises, if I'm doing any, what foods I'm eating, what I'm not eating, what I will be doing for, planning or anything like that. There is a specific section in here about planning for the phases, and we'll try at the end of this trial. So I actually need to work on that in the coming weeks. Video number 3, which this video is going to be a long one. You're not going to get this until April. So this one is, I am going to be talking about the 4 months of the cycle syncing method completed. I'm going to be doing 4 months because I'm doing November, December, January, February, March, kinda, not all the way complete, but we're going to be talking about the method, about the book in full. We're going to be talking about any workouts I incorporated, any exercises that I incorporated, and answering a lot of questions. So those questions include what I've come up with, but what I want you to come up with in this comment section. And then, how do I feel? Are my cycles easy to track and predict? How is my diet and exercise? What did I struggle with? What tips do I have? How did I make the method more specific to me? And will I continue following this method? I want to have quite a few months under my belt with this method, with incorporating the food and the nutrition, incorporating the exercise, and then creating a loose plan for each month. So I want to talk about some of the foods that I incorporated in this phase, my follicular phase, and the ovulatory phases. So let's start with follicular phase. The first thing that I definitely incorporated, which I mentioned before, was carrots. I started bringing carrots to work with me to snack on instead of crap. I focused on definitely carrots. I incorporated sour cherries and more lemon and lime into my diet as well. So I put a lot more. I got actually a sour cherry blend mix of frozen fruit, more olives, pickles, vinegary things, focus back in on my protein powders and my superfoods. Ovulatory phase, let's talk what I started incorporating. I started incorporating way more tuna into my diet, chocolate, which is really good, in moderation, coffee, which I drink decaf. Fruits, I started incorporating more raspberries, strawberries, red bell peppers, I really stuck with. I love those. Tomato, scallion, spinach, chive. Quinoa is a huge grain that I can eat, which I love because I love quinoa, corn. Those are the things I focused on in that part of the phase. I did do some elliptical training. I have an elliptical literally right here, and I do use it every once in a while. I did try to do leg and lower body workouts, but again, that was when I decided this is all too much at once. I really want to focus on the nutrition. Your creative levels in those phases. So your follicular and your ovulatory phase, your follicular phase, you're coming off of your bleed week, you're coming off of your period. You are going to have more energy. You're going to have your estrogen is on the rise. You are now in your creative phase. This is your creation time. You're going to start getting really creative and thinking about all the things that you've been longing to do and establishing projects. Again, I'll talk more about that in the coming videos. But this is your time to prepare for those creations. Your ovulatory phase is your open up time. You want to be more social because as an animal and as a woman, as a female, you are supposed to try to get pregnant and conceive a child at this time. You're trying to reproduce. Your body is telling you to be social. You are wanting to be more social and to open up and to have more creative outlets and also make social obligations. I ran with it. I was super creative. I was thinking of project ideas. I was thinking of YouTube video ideas. When I look back onto what I was talking about when I was vlogging clips for this video, I was super thinking about, like, in the future, how am I going to handle, you know, the new year and videos and the channel, and what's the direction we're going into, and oh my god, I need to do this, this, and this, and these are the things I want to do, and I want to see this person, and I want to go here, and I want to go there, and that's great, but there's only so much time that you can do all of that in, and you're also going to hit your cap, and you're going to overwhelm yourself. So everything in moderation, because I definitely did that. And once I got to my luteal phase, I was like, whoa, slow down, tail tucked in my shell. And again, I will go over that more as we get into the part 2 of this series. But I did really like, oh my god, Syanne, slow your roll. This plan for the phases, I'm going to go more so into detail in the next video as well, and kind of playing with that philosophy. But that is coming. I'm really making this tailored for me, and that's what I'm working on. I really want to tailor it to, okay, overall arching, here's what's good for the body and those phases, but what's good for Syanne? I hate broccoli. I'm not eating broccoli in my follicular phase. So then what does she do instead? These are recipes. So there is a recipe for recipe section for the follicular phase and the ovulatory phase and the luteal and the menstrual. The biggest thing that I want to get across is why I'm doing this. I am doing it because I want to be more in sync with my body. I have done a lot of understanding my brain in the last 2 years. I am now in a era, if you will, of my life where I really want to focus on getting in tune with my body. And one of those is physically, my nutrition, my physical health, but that is connected to my mental. And it's not something that's talked about, and that mental piece is to go along with my menstrual cycle. And it's not talked about. I didn't learn about it in school. It's nothing that I really had discussions with my mom. Nothing against her at all. It's just something we didn't talk about. I knew about my period. I knew about those things, and that was really where that ended. And honestly, my curiosity didn't start until I was in college. And I mean my curiosity with my cycle. My ex and I split. I got more involved and more curious about my cycle, mainly because I didn't have a cycle for so long. It was so irregular, and that was because of stress and overwhelm. When we broke up, I hadn't had my period in months, and I finally got my period the day we broke up. And I felt like that was just a moment of realization that so much stress has now been lifted off my shoulders that I didn't even know about, didn't even know I had, and my body is finally able to be in a state of relaxation and normalcy. My body was able to finally regulate itself and do what it's naturally supposed to do, and from that point on, I've pretty much had a very consistent period and cycle. But it's been still kind of hard to track sometimes. I'm definitely closer to where I am at. I have an app, it's called Flow. I don't think it has any connection to this. I've used the app for several years, I think 7 at this point. I can go more into detail about the things that I do, birth control, all of those things, because they are a huge portion of this book. I'm not doing it to review this book. I'm not doing it to tell you what to do. The point of me doing this is to try it for myself, to see if it helps, to see if I am able to regulate my hormones, my emotions, my nutrition, get it under wraps, get my cholesterol back to a level that is good for a 25-year-old woman, and start to just feel healthier. I'm just doing it for myself, and if it for some reason you want to try it and you want to do it, that's great. that's your responsibility. That's your choice. I'm just doing it to try it for me. I think that is it for today's video. This is probably a very long video. This series is probably going to be a very long format series. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you have a wonderful life. I hope that you are happy and healthy and you're feeling good and all of those wonderful, great things. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next one and have a wonderful life. Bye, guys.